to get through this week as we build ours up. That sounds wonderful. And don't, Terry, we can kind of talk as things go down here.
I didn't eat it till I retired.
Towards the end of September, we'll look at monitoring.
Yeah.
Get that.
It's May 4th.
I mean, if we can kind of, I mean, we can look into like, maybe job coach too. Like, I don't want to stress you either, because we're all busy, you guys trying to get all that stuff taken care of. So I know, but a little less stress if we can.
It is.
But yeah, we'll do that. We'll be in touch.
If we would have held that lady signing.
It's my
No.
Who's got me, Bobby?
I don't know that there's a sidewalk.
Oh.
I don't think.
Kids are sick.
But he said that he's available by phone if we need to. Must be his middle one.
Carson,
Jackson's
which one's that?
the middle one.
Okay.
Jackson's in school. He's in school. He's so cute.
Who did the homecoming kids? Do they have kids do crown bearer and crown bearers? I didn't know if they did that.
I mean, when I was in like,
And honestly, they always picked a kindergarten, little girl,
I
they were the crown
I
bearer.
just thought that would be the one that shows.
and maybe they still do that. I haven't been to a for a while. I went to my first football game on Friday
That's what I'm getting. This shouldn't be even This is what I'm saying.
When Dylan was a
Nothing
senior.
against him.
When Dylan was a
And
senior.
it ain't. Well, we need to get the other forms that don't have that stuff on there, we need to get them. So you don't handle the business.
Actions in your water.
I think they will.
I really did. I looked at
Some don't
it.
have, some really don't.
It's fake.
Jerry will be there. Oh my God. Here comes Scott. Jerry.
That'd be my first.
Where'd my sign sheet go? Okay.
I don't know that there's anything but ones that put allergies on there. That's what I was thinking.
They can still rule now, yes. That could be possible.
Yeah, yeah.
Same. Kind of whooped.
That's our monthly meeting. I don't like that crap either. Remember all the time you
He's been on the streets quite a bit. He's at a training in Grand Island. was an all-day training, and I think it has to do with weapons qualifications. He's an instructor, and so he had to go to that to keep his certification for weapons qualifications. So,
This is for skid steer.
That's just for skid steer, yeah.
Now we're-
I guess he ended up down there and never get. About this thick here, he about, he
That
killed
day.
it.
Oh, no, I hate to tear
Maybe
this
it's
one
over.
down.
I don't know what, you know.
Yes.
Of course you got.
Some of the crackers,
I don't know what happened to the, each car got down there, killed,
if you
killed.
get crash or something, then have to get it.
Well, yeah, suspect or something.
No.
Yes.
House as that is building up there today, I'll do it and do it.
Oh, yeah. I haven't been out there for
No.
what?
a couple weeks.
You said you're making more jobs.
You what?
I would want my house there.
Can't see the receipt.
Mr. Mayor,
No.
he's got sick kids.
I wondered, he has a,
Can-
Yeah, he's got sick kids.
he had a bunch of boxes of stuff.
Yeah.
There used to be-
I think he had to get one from the daycare today because they were throwing up. Oh, really?
Isn't that all?
I can't remember when he called me, it was about dinner time maybe. Or no, maybe it was towards the end of the day. I can't remember.
Where's that driveway?
Yeah, that's right, something.
Yep.
Few blocks east of it. Ready?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna start. Okay, roll call.
Chuck,
Here.
Ron, Ellen. Here. Ken,
Yeah.
Jerry, and Scott.
Open meeting acts posters there on the east wall. Approve the August 26th meeting minutes. They all look good to you all?
I move we approve the minutes from August 20, or September, whatever day it was.
August 26th.
Thanks, Ellen.
Second.
Scott,
Okay,
okay.
roll call.
Chuck,
Yes.
Ron,
Yeah.
Helen,
Yes,
Ken,
Yeah.
Jerry, and Scott.
Yes. The treasurer's report will be presented and filed for audit.
I guess I would just pay attention to the bottom number, guys. The bank account is at the, with all the investments and cash on hand, just a little over $3 million, so.
Okay. 5, acknowledge receipt of the library, Alcorn Meadows, Airport, Chamber, HCED meeting minutes, and duplex financial report. You all read that? Okay. 6, approve payment application number 1 in the amount of $329,059, in which includes change order number 1, a deductive adjustment in quantities to the amount of $88,341 for the Atkinson Water Main Improvement Project.
So I thought Chris Miller was supposed to be here tonight because they're the ones that asked to be put on the agenda. So I think this is just, basically wrapping up that project.
In the original quote, we had $7,500 in there for reseeding and dirt work and sod work around the project being put in.
There's a few, I've got a note here to say,
there's still a few things that's got to be done yet on this project before the final pay. Now, if seating is on there, I will address the seating with them.
Well, just for example, underneath Hanson's up there in the corner,
Right.
they cut off the underground sprinklers, they just plug the lines, put the dirt back
Yeah,
in.
I've got that written down and picked up to tell Miller, and I told Miller once, but nobody showed back.
I didn't know, do we withhold some on this payment, or
Well,
that's my
It's
question?
not
If you read number 7, it says, approve the certificate of substantial completion. I've got a few things I want to do yet too, concerning, on the very beginning there by Speedy Mart, there's a couple valves that are like this far off the cement. I want them to be in the cement, or about 6 inches below it.
Well, let's table it till we have some representation here. Let's not spend money that we're not happy with what's going on.
And I sent him a
Just
text
stop
today
doing
too,
something
to
like this.
Chris Miller, I wanted to get with him before the meeting.
They know this is our
I
council
never
meeting.
heard anything.
If they're not gonna be here, then
Okay, we'll just hold it.
So you want to.
Need a motion to table it.
I make a motion we table it till we get some questions answered.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call.
Second. Ron,
Yes.
Helen,
Yes.
Ken,
Yeah.
Jerry, Scott,
Yes.
and Chuck.
Yes.
Then number 7 is approve the certificate of substantial completion for the Atkinson Water Main Improvement Project number 463 C1003 in the amount of $329,059. So we'll table that
Same
one
thing.
too. Yeah.
Motion.
Yep.
Why are we paying that one? This is substantial, that does not mean total completion, just means they want payment for the.
We don't have the approve of the top one, we're still tabling the top one.
I know that one, I'm talking about number 7,
Yeah.
that's a whole different deal.
We don't have anybody here from our Miller Associates to tell us that they're doing what they said they were gonna do.
Maybe this
I
is
don't
a-
understand why Miller isn't here. I mean, if you can't have representation here, what are we paying for? They know that this is our council meeting. What are we paying for? Maybe if we
What was it?
hold out on them, maybe they'll show up next time.
It's that 329,000, I do believe, Gary, is the total cost.
And they're gonna subtract
88,000. Cause I think they added that in there for like add-ons, like change orders. It was like a contingency type of thing.
I know there was stuff in there if we had to do a live taps.
Yep,
If we would, they isolate the mains, but we did not have to do any of that, so that should be deducted off.
yep. So I think that's what the deductions are in there.
Okay. Alright, well,
That's just my opinion. You guys booked your own concert.
if I sent you a bill for that much money, I'd probably be here today.
So what do you guys wanna do?
Ron made a motion to table that one also.
Table that one?
Ron, you made the motion? Or who did?
I think I'd like to hear somebody else make that motion. I made the first one.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Scott.
I'll second it.
Chuck, okay.
Then roll call.
Ken,
No.
Jerry, Scott,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yep.
Ron,
Yes.
and Helen. Yes.
Okay, second public hearing regarding the Nebraska Department of Economic Development, Community Development Block Grant for the West Holt Medical Service Mobile Medical Unit. We have to go,
This would be Carla.
Oh,
That's me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, sorry. I was just writing down the time so that I could put it for my notes. For those of you who are new faces or don't remember, I'm Carla Kimball. Since the last time I'm here, I've been named the Executive Director for Central Nebraska Economic Development District. This is in reference to, the mobile clinic that, we worked on a community development block grant for, and that was awarded. We have to have a public hearing at the beginning to let the public know what we're applying for and how the money is going to go. And then at the end of the project, you have to have another public hearing to tell the public what we did. So that's what we're doing, is that second part, telling the public what we did. This was an application that was awarded to the city of Atkinson. It was a community development block grant for coronavirus. It was awarded, $362,600. $337,600 was for the mobile clinic, and then up to $25,000 for general administration. There was a memorandum of understanding between the city and West Holt Medical Services to purchase that clinic. The mobile clinic is here, it's been out, and there was no matching funds paid for by the city. There was no matching funds that period. The grant paid for everything. And so, we're seeking any public input about the project.
That's that bus that is on the road once in a while.
Correct.
I've seen it out and about. It's good.
I was in it, it looked decent. Yeah,
So it's getting used, huh?
yeah, I see it sometimes.
It,
Yeah.
it has gone down to Chambers.
Shelley, is that what this is, what is the $4,300?
That is their administrative cost for administering the grant. That will actually be refunded back to us through the state of Nebraska CDBG funds.
That's
So
what I
So it will not be
It-
our expense.
Okay.
It is right now until those funds come in.
Gotcha.
That money's guaranteed.
How often is it best to ride? Do you
We
know?
signed all the paperwork.
I don't know how often it's out.
What?
It goes out like once a month or once every
I think it's
once
every other week
every
to
week.
Chambers, I think.
Yeah. And then I've heard that, I'm just from people that live in Chambers, my husband's from Chambers, and I've heard they've had a very good turnout with it, and everybody's really happy with it, so.
Save them a lot of trips. Do we need a second or something on this, or just
I don't think
pass
we need
it on?
anything on this, do we?
No, she just kinda
No,
telling
just
us
seeking public
about it.
comment, and you can close the public hearing at whatever point in time that you guys are ready to do that.
You need a motion for that?
No, I just need Josh to close the public hearing whenever
We
they're ready.
closed the public hearing at 7:42.
7:43.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
9. Let's see here. Consider approved special designated license for the Knights of Columbus number 4707 at the community center at 206 West 5th Street on September 28th, 2024 for a wedding reception dance from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m.
They have 2 SDLs on for the same date, and they said they have plenty of people to cover both places. Well, the young crowd's gonna take one, and then the older crowd's gonna take the other. I think they said the young crowd's gonna be down here for, was it dueling pianos?
Yeah, it looks like,
And then the older guys are gonna take, is that right? Aren't you on Casey's? That's how Patty explained it to
I know
me.
that there's,
yeah, cause one of them,
I know there's 2 events on the same night.
Yeah, I think Patty told me the younger group is gonna take the dueling pianos, and the older group is going to take the wedding dance.
I haven't heard where they draw the line
Dan, which group are you in? Can we see your ID?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we approve it.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call.
Helen?
Yes.
Ken?
Yeah.
Jerry? Scott?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
And Ron?
Yes.
Consider approve special designated license for the Knights of Columbus 4707 at the Farmers Market at 106 South Main Street on September 28, 2024 for the dueling pianos from 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. Alternate location in case of inclement weather will be at the Knights of Columbus Hall at 106 South Sherrill Street.
Make a motion to approve it.
Okay.
Second.
Roll call.
Scott?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Helen?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
And Jerry?
Okay, 11. Consider approve a building permit for John Vogel for a 30 by 40 by 12 steel storage area west of cemetery on west side of pond.
I went out there and checked it out, and it was done. I mean, at the cement's poured, you got a building permit, I did not sign it.
So,
Reasoning being, Kelly,
floodplain. So out in the ETJ, there's not a mapped floodplain out there, but where it's next to the river and that pond out there, we have to treat it as if it is in the floodplain. So in order to keep ourselves, the city, in good standing with the National Flood Insurance Program that we are a part of, we're supposed to have them fill out this floodplain development permit application. And then from there, you can attach that approved floodplain permit, and then you can put it with your approved building permit, but you gotta have them both, it sounds like. I mean, it's up to you guys. I did the research on it because I knew that coming up, they at one time said that our new maps out there would be ready in September. And now, I can't even see the maps on the website where I usually go to, they're gone. And now they said the mapping isn't complete and it might be 5 or 6 years before they get to it.
Well, we went through the same old, we got concrete poured before we planted the permit.
Why does that happen? I mean, we don't need to be doing that.
Well, this permit I got in front of me isn't even complete.
No, no.
He knows better.
I know,
I'll tell you what's the next one. Stop West Holt from building.
We table it or we have to have a motion?
do you want, it's up to you guys what you wanna do there. You can table it, you can deny it, you can approve it. I don't know what you wanna do. I just found out about this, like Thursday, late, I got my email on this, so it wasn't even something I could,
Sure. He comes in and fills out that form and then we're good.
fills out the form and I don't know what, I don't know, yeah, I don't know,
I make a motion we table it till them forms are filled out.
okay.
Okay,
I'll second that.
Okay. And Chuck,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Helen,
Yes.
Ken,
Yeah.
Jerry, and Scott.
Yes.
okay, consider approved building permit for Jeff Howick at 474474 877th Road for a 16 by 44 by 8 wood frame addition.
Now pass the mill race, it's okay.
No sidewalks out there, right? It's within my jurisdiction.
It's just within, you've got quite a few on tonight that are within that ETJ.
Make a motion to approve it.
Okay.
I'll second it.
And then roll call.
Ron,
Yes.
Helen? Yes. Ken,
Yeah.
Jerry, Scott,
Yes.
Chuck.
Yes.
Consider approved building permit for Boyd Mitchell for a 30 by 50 by 14 steel building for personal use at 47428, 42428 877th Road.
Good. Good.
It's good. Did he do any dirt work already?
I don't think anything's
Don't think
moved
so.
out there.
I let these sign the paper. It's only one sign paper.
That's in behind on north side of Sarah Colson's place, isn't it? Yeah. That's what I thought they were doing.
There's no draining issue or anything, I don't see any of that checked off, here's my problem.
Is that floodplain there too? Cause that's pretty close to the Elkhorn.
I think it's up high enough through there, those guys would be able to get floodplain insurance if they were in it. So. What I seen of the new floodplain when it came through the map was that bottom area where Rachel and Connor Iverson built. And then it goes up through that pit where Vogel's at, when I was able to see the maps.
There wasn't anything out there in this area.
Just to be honest, I mean, we can make them fill out the floodplain, but I don't think they need it where they all have buildings, cause they wouldn't be able to insure them out there if they were in the floodplain.
By approving this, is this being fair to John?
If he's not in floodplain.
I'll make a motion to approve Boyd Mitchell's, permit.
I'll second
Roll call.
Helen,
Yes.
Ken,
Yeah.
Jerry, Scott,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Okay. Consider approved building permit for City of Atkinson for a 12 by 30 wood frame concession storage facility at 800 North Main Street.
I think the building's already started on that permit too.
Hey,
Well, the,
Commissioner,
the cement's poured, but we've always been told that if it's within its limits, we can handle it, it can be done.
question on that one.
Yes.
They came and talked to us about a storage unit, didn't they? When did the concession start, become part of it?
that was a portion of it when it started.
Because that concession stand is not that old up there. So
That
how,
was a-
why, I'm curious, why are we spending money like that?
It was gonna be made into storage, the concession, wasn't it? Cause it had like no floor or
The
something.
concessions,
Something was going on.
the concessions area of that other building is not,
It's not big
it's
enough.
old, Kim.
Well, it's been put on there since I was on here, so, whatever, that's fine, I just asked a question.
It was, well, the park board committee,
It was like last summer, last
Oh,
spring, and it never
yeah.
came
it
forward.
never came forward, so it was approved and
I've had the check sitting on my
That's
desk for a
fine.
year.
God, ask a question and you get your head chewed off. Fine, I just asked, cause I know that thing was down,
you
oh, that's
ordered
fine.
you ordered an answer, you got it.
That's why we
About
come
6
to
people.
meetings, even when you're not like.
Motion to approve it, let's go home.
Correct.
What's that?
Everyone wanted to be on council and stuff, and technically, I'm the only one that really ever came for 2 years. And then other people get, in the audience. Then that way you kinda know what's going on, like prior to getting in, right?
I second it.
Okay, Ken was first, Chuck was second. Ken,
Yeah.
Jerry, Scott,
Yes.
Chuck, Chuck,
Yes.
Ron,
Throw something at me.
I think we're all cranky. Okay,
Ron, yes, okay, Helen, yes.
I just wanted to.
How many times do I have to say first name tonight?
I just wanted to hear my name again.
okay. 15, consider approved building permit for Dennis and Sharon Rupert for a 30 by 24 by 10 wood frame with metal siding garage at 102 East 4th.
You know what, you guys know where that's at,
Yeah, yeah,
right south of the bank,
okay.
and it's good to go. We put it in
How come you have to sign
the
it for that?
northeast corner.
Is he making it out of pallets?
I think he tore that down.
Yeah, they're not there anymore.
Gary, you didn't sign the per application.
For that.
The one I got in front of me is signed.
Yeah, Gary, we missed that one.
Oh, shit, I signed it right in front of me.
And then another
Yeah.
question I have is, we're gonna go back to sidewalks here again. Why even have the permit if you're not gonna check that off? Isn't that your job? You see what I mean?
Yep.
We got applications in front of us that aren't complete. That's what I get
Well, I
irritated
signed,
about.
I signed that one and the moving permit one.
Well, this is the same one, I mean, this is,
Well, I know, but I don't care, I signed it.
No,
I signed
I'm
it
just,
right in front of
I'm
me.
just saying that we're to approve these, but we assume a lot of things that everything's okay, that
there's the original,
as the,
it's not
as
there.
the last sidewalk thing that we're dealing with up in, by the old school, that sidewalk was taken out and never put back. Now, if we'd have held that permit back for verification, we wouldn't be in this boat now, so
So you gonna sign it, Gary?
we need
Sign
to.
it.
Here, I need him to sign the
Do you
original.
know about the sidewalk removal, the drainage, you know about
I'm
that?
just shocked as hell, cause I signed it right in front
You
of me.
signed the moving permit, I think,
I
on that
signed,
one.
I signed both.
So,
That's the original permit, Gary.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. All right, where to sign at?
Oh, no,
Whoops.
it still doesn't tell me about the sidewalk.
Sidewalk, is there a sidewalk?
No, it got nothing to do with the sidewalk.
We're not gonna hear about this down the road again or anything.
No, 'cause
I
there's no
think they just
sidewalk.
redid that sidewalk up there on the
Well,
south
yeah,
side of
they
the
did,
house.
but
I don't know
we go
anything.
assuming again.
No, I'm not.
We'll get.
Ain't gonna drain onto the bank, is it?
Well, the question is on our permits as a whole. Do we need to have them checked off or written on before we approve them?
See,
They
now I
should be
thought that on
complete.
that front page, I thought that that was for, that wasn't for the people to do. I thought that was for our zoning person to do, or our,
Okay, I didn't know
inspector to
that,
do.
but I will start doing that. I will.
because that's our checklist to say this is done.
When
Yeah, at
this,
the time,
when
I
this
think,
is
Gary,
brought
when
in
you,
and turned
when you
into
talk to
sheriff
them
or
about the
whatever,
setbacks
she
or whatever,
proofreads
that's
it,
the
it's
time to
not
go through that,
complete.
mark it off.
Right.
Needs to be given
Throw
back.
that.
Is that right?
Correct, yes, sir. That'll-
You know, I'm just trying to cover
Yeah,
our
I know.
tails for the future is all I'm
Yeah.
trying
Well,
to
see,
do.
I never do this
I'm not
front
trying to blame
page,
anybody here, I'm not
No,
blaming
no,
Gary.
no.
because I always thought that that was for us to check, so that we did the checks to make sure that we had all the information that we needed. And then that would say, okay, yeah, I'm good to sign it, but if I had a no, then, you know,
Well,
no, you
what I'll
don't
do
sign
from
it.
now on is when I meet with them, I'll just have it there and I'll ask them, we'll check it off and just go right
Yep.
through it all.
Yep,
Really,
That might save a lot of, you know.
Yep.
Video it, so we have proof.
Get their signature.
Okay. We need a motion to approve Dennis Rupert's building.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Jerry, Scott,
Yes.
Chuck, Ron,
Yeah.
Helen,
Yes.
Ken,
Yeah.
16, consider approve of moving permit for Melissa Z to move a 14 by 20 by 16 garage from 102 East 4th Street to a ranch at 87172 477th Avenue, Atkinson.
And they've got a building on their little garage they're getting rid of. And if the guy don't haul it out, I guess I don't care then.
Moving toward.
If this guy don't take
it's
it.
Rupert's. They're taking a building off to put one up.
It's Orland Pryor lived there, right?
That's west, this would be Rupert's.
Right.
This is Dennis and Sherry Rupert's, they're moving a building off, and
Oh,
moving the
that
garage off.
blue kind of painted thing in the back?
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
By the alley.
Yeah,
It's
wait a
not
minute.
that don't
They're
shit.
curved.
Nothing to do with Rupert's.
It's off the
There's
property.
Veronica moving
Yeah.
building.
Yeah,
That's
he's
the old
moving
Orla
that
Pryor place, isn't it, right
No,
there?
no, off of the Rupert spot.
They're moving it off of Rupert's property?
Rupert's, yeah. Yep, they got a little building there that.
Out to this ranch.
They're moving it from.
Oh, okay,
Out to
okay,
the
I
ranch.
was mixed up.
That's why we needed
That
the moving
check is
permit.
Carolyn.
Wrong drawing.
That's Carolyn. check.
Okay,
That's-
gotcha. That's what I'm
Yeah.
mixed
I
up
see
Sorry.
what Chuck's talking.
So it's a nice little shed, so.
on. Okay,
Where it was moving from town out. We didn't have a moving.
I can make a motion to approve it.
Roll
Even
call.
though I didn't want one.
Scott,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Helen. Yes. Ken,
Yeah,
Jerry.
Okay, 17, consider approved building permit for Scotty Holt Group for a 40 by 66 wood frame home with a 40 by 40 garage at 87780 State Highway 11. We just north of his shop.
Yep. Make a motion to approve
Okay.
it.
I'll second that.
Okay, hold on.
Chuck and Scott.
Okay. Chuck,
Yes.
Ron, Helen. Yes. Ken,
yeah,
Jerry, and Scott.
yes,
18, consider approve a building permit for Olson Repair LLC for a 50 by 75 by 16 wood frame building at 402 East Pearl Street.
There's no sidewalks.
The only question I would ask Ron is you probably put a fill in there to put it in, correct?
What's that?
Is there any drainage issues? Because after our last
There should be,
fiasco,
for the last 42 years that I know of, and the dirt there's about like cement. To make more to find the water stuff, it's so dry. I wouldn't think so. We did find some pipe to nowheres that I had Jerry come over and take a look at, 'cause we didn't know if they went to the sewer mains. I was hoping maybe it's a vault full of money that Grandpa left, but Gary thinks it's a septic tank. I think it was right.
Just
Okay,
splitting hairs, does the purpose of the construction apply to zoning regulations?
I don't
Yes or
know
no?
that.
Gary.
Gary.
Sorry.
Does the purpose of the construction apply to the zoning regulations, yes or no?
Yes.
It isn't checked.
Sorry.
Work on that, okay?
Yes, I will.
Please.
Okay. Need a motion to approve their building.
I make the motion to approve that.
Then roll call.
Ron,
Yes.
Helen. Abstain. Oh, that's right. Sorry. Ken,
yeah,
Jerry, Scott,
yes,
and Chuck.
yes,
Okay, 19, consider approved ordinance 1190, which updates the waiver schedule for violations of the municipal code of the city of Atkinson.
So the first motion I need, before we go too far into this, you guys can discuss it all you want as soon as I tell you what I need. So the ordinance is an ordinance of the city of Atkinson, Nebraska, updating the waiver schedule for violations of the municipal code of the city of Atkinson, Nebraska, to repeal all ordinances or parts of ordinance in conflict herewith, and to provide an effective date, and to provide for service in pamphlet form. The first motion and vote that I need is to waive the 3 readings on the 3 different days. And then you can go to make the motion to approve, and then a roll call, and then a motion to approve the ordinance, if you so choose.
Is this just changing the fines for what you have listed here? It isn't repealing, changing any other ordinances, any other, I mean, by,
Michael did this
this is
ordinance,
strictly for changing, bringing the cost of the fines up to date.
we wanted to get these taken care of, they wanna do the entire, waiver schedule, but we're trying to do this to get this moving because we have these violations going right now.
That it is strictly
Just-
updating the fines
Yeah,
to bring them up to.
yeah.
It doesn't-
Motion to waive the 3 readings.
Roll call.
Helen,
Yes.
Ken,
Yeah.
Jerry, Scott,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yeah.
and Ron.
Yep.
20. Consider approve ordinance 1191.
No, now we gotta go back to 19.
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you. And this is just approving that ordinance to update the waiver schedule.
Yep, splitting it, defining cost.
Yep. Ken,
Yeah.
Jerry, Scott,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
and Helen.
Yes.
Okay, 20. Consider approve ordinance 1191, which entails the water rate increase of 90 cents meter for debt coverage of the loan repayment to the Nebraska Department of Environment and Energy for the recent water main replacement project.
If you remember, before this water main project was started, you approved an ordinance that this would be a self-supporting project. It has to come from the water fees, and our water fees, it has to have a designated source. And this is the designated source for the repayment of that loan over the next 30 years.
It's just per meter.
90 cents per
not
meter.
Per gallon. or not-
No, and this is
Okay, okay.
above and beyond any other increases that
I
might
just wanna
take
know if
place.
it's
Yep,
Just $1 per meter
yep,
per month.
yep.
Okay. No, I make a motion we pass it, and we gotta do something to.
I gotta have the waive the 3 readings
Alright, I'll
again.
waive the 3 readings.
Okay, thank you, Ken.
No roll call.
Jerry, Scott,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
Ron,
Yeah.
Helen,
Yes.
and Ken.
Yeah,
Okay. Now you can do the motion
way.
to approve it. Okay, Ken?
I'll second
Okay, thank you, Scott.
Then roll call.
Scott,
it. Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Helen,
Yes.
Ken,
yeah.
and Jerry.
Okay. 21, discuss approve interest due on Boyd Holt E911 2023-2024 invoice of $2,565.70.
So this was the interest that they charged us on that invoice that we put off paying. And I know it's not just on our agenda tonight, but it's on, I think, Paige's, Ewing's, and O'Neill's.
Did we ever get any response from them for what we were asking?
We
for
didn't,
advance?
the O'Neill clerk and I talked on Friday because I wanted to know if they had paid their interest yet. And she said that they had not, but it was also on their agenda for tonight. And she asked me if I had heard anything from the state of Nebraska because it had been turned over to the state's auditor, but none of us have heard anything back from them. So we don't know if it's a dead issue, if they didn't pursue it, we don't know anything what's going on with it. We, and I don't know if they will tell us anything at this point.
We haven't heard anything. I make a motion that we table it, not pay it this time.
Okay. They gave us, I'm gonna point it out, they gave us 45 days. I'm gonna ask that you allow me, because Michael is part of Gottschall and Scholes, I would like to talk to Boyd Stroke about it to see what his recommendations are, if that's okay with you as a council. I don't know what other lawyer to go to regarding this at this point, where he abstains from it.
Okay, so Chuck wants to table it. Need a second.
I'll second.
And a roll call.
Are you okay with me talking to Boyd Stroke about it as a
Yeah.
council?
Yeah.
I am.
Okay. Chuck,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Helen,
Yes.
Ken,
Yeah.
Jerry, and Scott.
Yes.
Okay, 22, Update on code enforcement.
Well, I give you guys a little summary report on July and August. I have a few things on September, but since the month's not over yet, kind of started nice and easy, learning the code in the streets, kind of for Jimmy's recommendation. Most of it in July was starting with kind of the easy stuff with grass and weeds. Then kind of in pursuit of becoming a police officer, I started looking at vehicles and making sure tags weren't expired and just getting sticky notes. And then I've been working with Gary. We wanted to get more onto the kind of safety side of the city. And we've been talking about pruning and clearing for sidewalks and obstructed stop signs, roadways on different intersections. For your summary, I listed each code, the number of notifications that I made, how many complied, if there's any that didn't comply, and any that still have time to correct the issue.
Where do we stand, Seth, with the David Neal property?
Say that again?
Where do we stand with the David Neal property up there at the Catholic Church on Teller Street? Jimmy hand delivered them, I think one of his first deals when he was hired. He hand delivered them a notice about unlicensed vehicles up there. There was some complaints turned into us and they were gonna jump right on it. Has anything been done there?
For unlicensed vehicles, Jimmy has told me to hold off, basically saying that because a property owner is paying taxes on their land, that he's not going to go and take vehicles from their property even though they're unlicensed. That's something that I think would have to be discussed with him and maybe the city attorney on kind of seizing anyone's unregistered vehicles. If it's parked on the street, I'll give a 10-day kind of friendly reminder, like, hey, update your vehicle. Sometimes people just need to just stick the new tag on. They actually have, updated registration, but that's a liability concern with it being on the street. And then after that, I'll tag with an actual note, like a nuisance form notification, where if they don't get it fixed or moved, then it could be impounded, fined.
Are you talking just the vehicles that are on?
Well, just.
The whole
I
general
know
property is just a
I know we
disaster.
had neighbors who was up asking about it many moons ago, and they were told they were gonna take care of it, and I know, well, Dorothy was asking, and I just, general cleanup more than anything.
Sure.
We all have stuff that probably needs to be addressed, but I just didn't know, cause I know there's people.
Yeah, some of the, there's been a few places that I've hit with like an accumulation of junk litter, kind of I forget what the code is. Unlawful accumulation, those, I guess when it's closer to the street or a sidewalk, and it's, in my mind, I see it being a liability of someone, it's a trip fall hazard. And that's something where I have tagged in the past. But if, I know Jimmy told me about, the foul odor in their trash, I haven't heard anything about that since, so.
Thank you.
What's the Owley's loading and unloading? I guess I haven't read that one yet.
So that one's kind of similar if you're just parked in the alley for more, it gives like 30 minutes to an hour for loading and unloading. So, if you're moving something, you could use the alley, but if you're parking a vehicle in there for more extended period of time, So I kinda doubled up on the one vehicle, because they were continually parking in the alley for extended periods of time.
Oh, gotcha.
And then they've corrected that, and then, there was a camper that was obstructing an alleyway, that got moved, and Gary and I are kinda working on getting the rest of that alley figured out, since it's, kind of been left,
Okay.
Overgrown.
yeah, for quite a while, so.
Is there anything about semis being left running, like for the whole weekend?
I don't know about
I
the
mean, it
one.
doesn't bother me, but I know it bothers one family in particular.
I don't think they're supposed to be.
And it was supposed to be parked in town.
Yeah, I think it's a limit of like 24 hours for the semi to be parked in town, but I don't know the code off the top of my head, I'd have to read it.
I was just scared, I see it a lot.
If I remember right, I think they've talked to that particular semi owner before, so if he's still doing it, we need to get it.
His property was on the tax sale list in March, so he's got unlicensed vehicles. The EM50 hasn't been licensed in like 10 years.
Okay, anything else? You all done there, Seth?
Sorry?
You all done?
Yeah, everything I had, you guys have any questions, or?
Okay. Alrighty, we'll move on then. 23, approved delinquent utility report. Did that, you guys read that? Yeah. It's kinda down, but not as low as it was.
It's not lower last month.
Yeah, it's still a little bit not as low as it was.
I think where they've been turning people off, Gary and his crew, when they get like 2 months past, it seems like we have more people coming in and calling at least promises to pay and get in and pay. So it seems like they know that it's not
And we do have one that's been turned off now for what,
4 months, 3 months
3
maybe?
months maybe?
Is that over?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion approved, my approved.
Okay.
Second.
Roll call.
Ron,
Yes.
Helen,
Yes.
Ken, Jerry, Scott,
Yes.
Chuck.
Yes.
Okay. Approved claims as prepared, that all look good, those.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Chuck, second. Okay, Helen,
Yes.
Ken? Ken,
Yes.
Jerry? Scott,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
Ron.
Yes.
Okay. Announcements. Any announcements?
If it's not on the agenda, I don't think that we can do announcements. Sorry, guys, I left that on there and I should have taken it off. That's something new with the new Open Meetings Act that was just passed in the legislative session at the beginning of this year.
So you can't even talk about it?
If it's not on the agenda, yeah, if it's not on the agenda, you can't go into closed session for anything that's not on the agenda. You're not supposed to talk about it if it's not on the agenda, because it's an open meeting and a
Is that
public
a
meeting.
law now? Can I have, you give me a copy?
Yep,
of
I
that?
can get you, I don't know if that's the new poster up there, but I can sure
I'd
get
like
it
to-
for you.
I'd like to get a law that refers back to.
Yep.
Okay. 26, monthly report from department supervisors, library, ED, water, sewer, streets, parks, woodlawn, cemetery, community center, fire, civil defense, and police.
You know, I don't have anything, when Miller was supposed to come tonight, I wanted to take him up to East Pearl Street. So we went up there, and that's over by Dean Overmire's, before the Arma Code is. got rid of all that chipped up asphalt. Put asphalt in, armor coated, it's worse now than it was then. I don't know what the answer is. I talked to Ron, we haven't got together.
I went out and looked down the.
Oh, you did? Good.
I don't know if it's moisture or what the heck it is.
I don't know what the heck's going on, but I was hoping he would be here. And I'm gonna catch him when he does come, he said,
Was there dirt under it?
what?
Dirt under the oil
It's just
that
like if
wasn't
it's
sticking?
soft, it just,
Yeah.
it just.
Like a spring maybe, but yeah.
When,
I know,
Well, yeah, he was the one doing it.
so, when Travis and I were working on that, there were parts where we would peel up the old stuff, and you could just basically keep digging, like there was another layer under it that was just as crackled up, and so there's nothing
Like
underneath to actually support, the weight to stop it from breaking apart is what it looked like.
So maybe it needs dug up and
And I
packed.
gotta just dig down about 6 foot and start bringing some,
Well, I think the
Bottom
problem
up.
is you need to do about half the street, like, you about have to do the whole length, because it was just, the more you
it
kept
just looks like
peeling, the more
water,
it
it's
just
like
flaked
there's
out.
no,
It's fresh.
no base to it or
Right.
something, yeah.
But anyway, I was gonna run that past Miller.
Would that work to put that, ground concrete on? As a base?
Well, that's, I
Dig
would
this,
say,
dig the
way
oil
down.
up, then put
Maybe
that
have
on.
Miller look at
Probe
it,
it,
suggest
see.
that, see if,
I would think that'd be a lot better base than.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they could put prone areas.
It's just spongy, like a spring.
Yeah.
It just acts like there's not moisture there for some
But
reason.
it also gets a lot of heavy truck traffic through part of that, doesn't it?
It's weird though that it would break up just in that section and not up and down Pearl, it just seems like it's.
No, this is kind of, yeah, I don't
To where
know.
all that water hangs.
Yeah,
Almost, how long a section is it?
Oh, I bet it's a good block.
Yeah, yeah.
Cause you got the pieces in the middle that's all right, and you got 30 feet that store up, and then 10
When
feet.
you hit it, you know, it's spongy.
Okay. We'll get Miller to probe it.
Bad mixture?
No, hopefully we can give you an answer.
I think it's
I
the
think it makes
base,
it
the
what's
base
underneath
is-
it.
yeah, I just don't think there's no support.
Well, it could be.
Anything else, Gary?
It's on my list to talk to him.
We need to look at some
I
of
need-
the curbs around town, Jerry, that are broke off. Yes. Hook it together.
Okay.
I need to ask council members if you were available September 23rd for the budget hearing and the city council meeting to approve the budget, like 7 o'clock.
What day, like a Monday?
It'd be a Monday, the 23rd. I have to post notice in the paper.
I'll be somewhere close. I should be.
It's due the 30th, so I've gotta get it approved.
We'll set the meeting and
Okay.
See.
So I'm gonna set the meeting September 23rd at 7 PM.
Okay.
I'm done. Oh, one more thing, our accounting software is forcing us to, I kind of talked about this during the budget hearing, or the budget workshop last time. I am gonna look at a different accounting software and see if I can save some money. Not very many people having good things about this new cloud-based software with G-Works. Lots of glitches, lots of glitches.
I did just look up a tutorial for that too,
Okay.
like for the fire manager,
Yep.
and it looks relatively similar to what we had.
So I'm gonna check into Power Manager, which O'Neill has and which Neely has, and I consider them to be kind of the same size cities. Well, O'Neill of course is bigger, but they do relatively, all three of us kind of do the same work, so anyway.
I just have a couple things.
Okay.
The website, I think we're gonna be going live with the new website by the end of the month, so the app will no longer be available. And I'll probably put something in the paper and also probably put something on Facebook and our new website, but the app is no longer available. We completed our community needs survey and we're waiting for Cena to compile those results. Hopefully by the beginning of October, we will hear back on the grant that we submitted for our state for the Rural Community Recovery Program. I also, before the end of this year, I would like to call a joint meeting with the city council, the citizens advisory committee, and the loan board meeting, or the LB 40 loan board. There's some miscommunications between everything that's going on and just some new stuff that's come to head, so I think we all should just get together and get on the same page with that, and I think there are some changes that need to be made.
Okay. Good. Glad you're on. Anything else?
I kinda think in the future, we need to have our department heads and our lawyers be told that this is our meeting nights, and I realize kids, I realize everything else, but I think Jimmy should have been here, and I think the lawyer should have been here.
Jimmy's also at training.
I don't care, this is his job, this is what he's getting paid. I think all department heads should be on the staff. So, that's my opinion.
Okay. At least the lawyer.
You know, I think all department heads.
Anything else? Okay. Need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a good time on this day.
Who? Scott? Second? Ellen?
Roll call.
Ken?
Yeah.
Jerry? Scott?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yep.
Ron?
Yes.
And Helen?
Yes.